Being sedentary is depression. Not eating well is anxiety. Being underslept is loneliness. Neglecting our health in general is low energy, lack of focus, and lack of presence. Hey guys, what's up? Bevan here. The point I want to make today is that neglecting our health causes a surprising amount of the negative states and emotions we experience. Eating the wrong foods, not optimizing our sleep, not moving sufficiently causes a lot of the depression, anxiety, and lack of energy and focus we feel throughout the day. If you want to consistently feel great and perform at a high level, we have to master our bodies. Are all forms of negative emotion caused by mistreating our bodies? Well, obviously not. Bad things happen that trigger negative emotions. But a huge amount of mental suffering is caused by mistreating our bodies, and often in ways that people don't realize. For example, by eating the wrong kinds of fats, which can make us depressed over time, or by drinking alcohol and not sleeping well, which will reliably lower our testosterone levels, or by not exercising, which if we were to do it would be as effective as an antidepressant medication. Everything we do to our bodies is going to manifest in our minds, and often in surprising ways. And this is simply cause and effect, because our brains are not separate from our bodies. Sometimes the connection between our health and our mental state is obvious. Clearly, if we drink a lot, we're not going to feel great the next day. But usually the connection is not easy to spot at all. For example, common delayed onset food allergies can affect our mood and performance days after the fact. Furthermore, our minds make up convincing reasons for why we feel bad. We tend to rationalize that it's because of other people, or that we're just depressed and low energy by nature. When really, if we'd been getting enough sleep and had been exercising and optimizing our nutrition, we'd be feeling great. This problem becomes insidious when bad health habits are so entrenched in our lives that we're constantly immersed in negative states. At that point, those negative states become part of our identities. We might consider ourselves to be depressed, anxious, or low energy and unfocused by nature. At that point, it's really hard to become aware of the fact that we're causing our own suffering because that suffering seems to be part of who we are. I know this because it happened to me. For many years, my energy levels were very inconsistent and I had bouts of depression, anxiety, and loneliness, and I just couldn't focus. And I thought that was who I was. Eventually, I was able to solve those problems by making health my number one priority. It was a long process of trial and error and self-education, and it's an ongoing process, and I'll save that story for another time. Another point I want to make is that our minds are responsible for perpetuating our negative states. Whenever something bad happens to us or we mistreat our bodies in some way, there's going to be a little bit of unavoidable pain. But that only accounts for about 20% of the pain we experience. The other 80% is created by our minds, which magnify and perpetuate our suffering. And that's a major reason to meditate, to disidentify from our rationalizations and thereby rid ourselves of our mind-created suffering. And we should keep meditating. But when we're causing our negative states by neglecting our health, the pain from those states is really hard to escape from through meditation alone because we're constantly bombarding ourselves with these negative triggers. It's like if you're walking in the forest and a bunch of bees start stinging you. Are you going to stop there in the forest and apply numbing cream to the stings while the bees continue to swarm around you? Or are you going to get the hell out of the forest? Obviously, it's better to remove the trigger of that pain in the first place. Much of the time, the best way to uproot these negative states from our lives is to master our health, to become experts at our own particular hardware. We can do this in 3 ways. The first way is to learn, to read books on nutrition and exercise and sleep. And this actually requires quite a bit of humility that so many people lack. It's hard to set aside your own ideas and to pick up a book and to actually decide to put it into practice. So let's try to read a book per week on the subject of health, really make it our top priority for a while. The second thing we can do is to experiment, actually put this stuff into practice. Maybe try an elimination diet if you suspect you might have a delayed onset food allergy, which are actually quite common. Or you can look into ketosis and experiment with intermittent fasting, or change up your exercise routine, or start tracking your sleep and see what factors might be affecting it, and just see how all these changes make you feel. And the third thing we can do is to continue to meditate. As our health improves, so too will our ability to remain present. But don't wait until you're healthy to start meditating, because working on your health and meditating simultaneously will have a synergistic effect. And by the way, when I say that we should master our health, I mean that we should do the best that we possibly can. Not everybody's in a position to read a book per week on health or to afford the best quality produce at the store. But the question is, what can we do? What book can we read that's going to give us an edge in our health? What improvement can we make to our nutrition? If you do have an idea, write it in the comments below and commit to doing it today. Also, I don't mean to sound preachy. I'm by no means a perfect example of this. In fact, I'm making this video as much as a reminder for myself as for you. I have to relearn this lesson from time to time as my sleep schedule starts to creep off track, as I start to push myself less hard in the gym, and as I start to eat too much ice cream. Furthermore, the suggestions in this video are just examples. The point is to inspire you to make health your top priority for a while. You can really get a huge amount of leverage in your life by doing this, and you're going to feel great once you do. So that's it for now. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you know someone who might like it, feel free to send it along. And also don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And don't forget, stay away from the bees in the forest. Don't get stung in the first place. And above all, stay healthy. Talk to you next time.